Finn had always believed that the worst was behind him. After months of trying to restore normalcy to his life with Steffi, rebuilding trust, and redefining what family meant, he had managed to find a sliver of peace. But peace was always fleeting in his world. And when the unexpected call came in the middle of the night, everything shattered. At first, he thought it was a wrong number. The voice on the other end was shaky, distorted by static and fear. But then came the name he thought he'd never hear again. Dad, it's me. It's Luna. Silence froze him. The breath left his lungs. The world stopped. Luna. His daughter. The child he thought he had lost forever. The name echoed in his mind, louder than the heartbeat thudding in his chest. Luna? That's not possible. You're supposed to be, he choked on the words. Dead? Her voice cracked. I know, but I'm not. I'm alive, and I need your help. Reality splintered around him. 1,000 questions clashed in his head, but the only thing that came out was rage mixed with panic. Where are you? What happened? Who has you? I'm in trouble, Dad. I don't have anywhere to go. And I'm pregnant. Finn staggered back like he'd been punched. Pregnant. The word burned. Pregnant? Whose baby is it? His voice was sharp, trembling with dread. It's not Will's. That was the second blow. Worse than the first. Finn closed his eyes and ran a hand through his hair, trying to process what she was saying. You're living in Bill Spencer's house. Will Spencer is his son. You're telling me you're pregnant. Not by him. And you're about to be kicked out? He asked, already knowing the answer but needing to hear it. He doesn't know yet, but he's going to find out. And when he does, I'm finished. I have nowhere else to go, Dad. Please. Please don't turn me away. Finn's mind was a battlefield. The joy of knowing his daughter was alive slammed into the dread of what this would mean for everything he had built with Steffi. This secret, if it got out, could tear his marriage apart. Steffi wouldn't tolerate lies. She wouldn't forgive betrayal. And she certainly wouldn't accept Luna, especially not now. But Luna was his blood. His child. She was alone, scared, and about to be homeless. He couldn't ignore her. He wouldn't. He had sworn to himself long ago that if he ever got the chance to do right by his daughter, he would not hesitate, no matter the cost. He asked for her location. She hesitated but gave it to him. She was staying in one of the guest wings at Bill's estate, but she wouldn't be there much longer. The confrontation was coming. Fast. Finn didn't waste time. He couldn't risk being seen, so he didn't go to the mansion. Instead, he made arrangements in the shadows. He called in a favor from a real estate contact he trusted. Within hours, he secured a small, furnished apartment on the outskirts of the city. It wasn't lavish, but it was safe. Discreet. A place where Luna could hide while the chaos settled. He met her there, away from prying eyes. When he saw her, really saw her, his heart broke. She was thinner than he remembered, her eyes hollowed by sleepless nights and silent fear. She looked like someone who had survived something terrible and was still running from it. They didn't hug. Not right away. The years between them were still too raw. But when she cried, he pulled her into his arms, and everything he'd been holding back broke loose. I'm sorry I wasn't there, he whispered. I should have found you. I should have known. You didn't know, she said. No one did. I was kept away. I had no choice. He didn't press. Not then. He didn't ask who the father was. Or how she ended up living with Bill. Or what twisted chain of events led to this moment. All that mattered now was protecting her. But he knew he couldn't keep this secret forever. Steffi was no fool. She sensed things. She noticed when he was distracted, when his eyes betrayed thoughts he wouldn't speak aloud. And ever since that call, Finn hadn't been himself. He came home later. He lied. He looked at his phone like it might explode. And Steffi noticed. One night, she confronted him. Are you seeing someone? She asked coldly. No, he said immediately. I would never. Then what is it? Don't lie to me, Finn. You've been acting strange for days. If something's going on, I deserve to know. He wanted to tell her. God, he wanted to. But the image of Luna, vulnerable and terrified, stopped him. If Steffi found out now, she'd react emotionally. She'd see Luna as a threat. Maybe even as an enemy. And Finn couldn't risk that. It's work, he lied. There's a patient I'm worried about. It wasn't a good lie, but it was enough to buy him time. Meanwhile, Luna adjusted to her new hideaway. It wasn't easy. She felt like a ghost, cut off from everything and everyone. She kept the lights low, the curtains drawn. She didn't go outside. She barely slept. The pregnancy was taking its toll, physically and emotionally. She had no support system. No friends. No one but Finn. He visited when he could. Sometimes for an hour. Sometimes only minutes. But every time he left, she begged him not to forget her. Please don't leave me alone in this, she whispered. I won't, he promised. But you have to give me time. I need to figure out how to bring this into the light. without destroying everything, but the longer he waited, the more the pressure built. Bill Spencer wasn't stupid. He noticed Luna's withdrawal. He started asking questions. And then, one night, Luna didn't return to the estate. Her room was empty. Her phone was disconnected. She was gone. Bill lost it. He called Will, called security, had the house turned upside down. And when no one could find her, he made a public statement. Luna was no longer under his roof. She had betrayed his trust and he had nothing more to say about her. The tabloids exploded. Rumors ran wild. Some said Luna had stolen from Bill. Others whispered about a secret affair. No one knew the truth. And Finn watched it all unfold with mounting dread. Every headline brought Steffi closer to the truth. Every whisper in the hospital hallways chipped away at the wall he was trying to hold up. Finally, he realized the secret had grown too big. He had to tell her. But just as he gathered the strength to confess, Luna collapsed. He got the call from a neighbor. She had heard a loud thud through the wall, then silence. Finn rushed to the apartment, heart pounding. When he found Luna on the floor, unconscious, his medical instincts kicked in. She was pale, dehydrated, and barely responsive. He called an ambulance and rode with her to the hospital. He lied to the staff. Said she was a private patient. Used his credentials to keep her name off the books. He worked frantically to stabilize her, praying the baby was still alive. Hours passed. The doctors ran tests. Finally, they told him she'd be okay, but she needed rest, fluids, and constant monitoring. And the baby? Still alive. Still holding on. That night, Finn sat beside her hospital bed, his head in his hands. He couldn't run from this any longer. Luna wasn't just a secret. She was his daughter, and she was carrying his grandchild. He had crossed a line. And now, the reckoning was coming. Steffi would find out. She would feel betrayed. She might walk away. But Finn had made his choice. He would protect Luna, no matter the fallout, no matter the price. Luna vanished without a word. One moment, she was recovering in her hospital bed under Finn's watchful eye. The next, she was gone. No one saw her leave. No discharge. No explanation. No trace. Finn came back from a brief meeting with the nurses and found the room empty. Her chart was still there. Her bag, gone. Her hospital bracelet, sliced off and left on the pillow. He stood there, frozen. A single cold thought gripped him. She ran. The first wave was fear. Then confusion. Then anger. He had just risked everything, his marriage, his career, his life, for her. And now she was gone? Finn checked every floor, every hallway, every possible camera angle, but Luna had covered her tracks. She disappeared like a ghost, and she didn't answer his calls. But Finn wasn't the only one spiraling. Across town, Bill Spencer was cracking under the pressure. The tabloids hadn't stopped churning out speculation since Luna's disappearance from his estate. Every whisper, every leak, chipped away at his public image. But it wasn't his reputation that kept him up at night. It was the thought of what Luna might do next. He didn't buy the quiet exit. Not for a second. This girl's not done with me, Bill snapped at Justin during a private meeting. She's calculating. She'll resurface when it hurts the most. You sure she's not just scared? Justin asked. Scared girls don't vanish without a trace, Bill said. She's planning something. He launched his own search. Hired private investigators. Put a bounty on information. Scoured hospitals and clinics under false names. But Luna was already 2 steps ahead. She had left LA entirely. A contact of Finn's, a nurse he trusted, had helped Luna board a private transport to a secluded maternity facility in Northern California. No records. No public access. No digital trail. It was the kind of place people went when they didn't want to be found. And for the first time in years, Luna felt safe. She stared out the window of her modest room, hand resting on her swelling belly, and smiled. For once there was no yelling. No accusations. No eyes judging her. No powerful men trying to control her life. Just silence, safety, and the promise of a future. Finn had kept his word. She hadn't told him where she was going. She didn't want to drag him deeper into her chaos. But she'd seen it in his eyes, the commitment, the guilt, the fierce protectiveness. And that was enough. He hadn't abandoned her. And now, for the first time in her life, she had a plan. She would give birth quietly. Alone, if necessary. But when the time was right, she'd return, not as a frightened girl, but as a mother. As someone with power of her own. And when she did, the truth would follow. She wasn't done with Bill Spencer. Not yet. Back in LA, Finn was unraveling. Every day Luna remained silent pushed him closer to breaking. He checked in with his nurse contact regularly, but there were no updates. No messages. No signs. He started to question everything. Was she safe? Did something happen? Or had she changed her mind about him? He began losing focus at work. Missing appointments. Snapping at colleagues. Steffi noticed, again. You're distracted, she said. This isn't about work anymore. What are you telling me? Finn deflected. Dodged. Lied. But inside, the pressure was mounting. He was holding too many secrets for too many people. And soon, something would break. Meanwhile, Bill's paranoia grew darker by the day. He started calling in favors. Digging into Finn's movements. And that's when he found a thread. A rental in Finn's name, paid in cash through a real estate contact. An address never disclosed to Steffi. A unit that was now empty. Bill stood outside the locked door of the apartment one night, staring at the peeling numbers and dim hallway light. He didn't need to break in. He already knew who it was for. Luna was here, he muttered. And Finn helped her, and just like that the fuse was lit. Back at the maternity facility, Luna's due date was approaching. The contractions were light, irregular, but they had begun. The staff was gentle but firm. They prepped her, monitored her vitals, checked the baby's position. Everything looked good. She was strong, focused, ready, no fear, no hesitation. She was determined to do this on her own. And then, the birth came. It was long, exhausting, painful, but when she finally heard that first cry, tiny, fierce, alive, she broke down in tears. It was a girl, a perfect, healthy baby girl. Luna held her close and whispered, "We made it. You and me. No one's going to take you away. Not ever." But even as she said it, she knew the war wasn't over. Her return would change everything. And she wasn't coming back quietly. She would let them think she disappeared. Let Bill drown in his own paranoia. Let Finn twist in his guilt. Let the silence thicken like smoke. Then she'd walk back into that world, stronger. Sharper. Not looking for pity. Not even looking for forgiveness. But with a child in her arms and a name on her lips. And when she did, the game would begin.